Obi Wan gets therapized. How do we bridge the gap between generations? Obi Wan, little Leia, mended light. Alright, I was a fan of the Obi Wan series. There were a couple of creative decisions that I wasn't crazy about, but on the whole, entertaining. And the dynamic between Obi Wan and young Princess Leia, so much fun. I adored that. Here's the thing, Obi Wan is still continuing some old patterns that he had with Anakin, which is, you're young, you need my guidance, you need to listen to me, I'm older and I'm wiser. And Leia is having none of that. She's got all sorts of sass. Let's check it out.
Well, keep your head down. Remember, you don't talk.
Don't talk. Let me talk. Let me handle it.
Hi, I'm Luma. This is my friend, my father. This is my father, Orden. We're farmers from Tall.
Hey there, I'm Freck.
Father, aren't you going to say hello?
Hello.
Leia has got too much fire in her and too much sass for Obi-Wan to contain. Not only that, that fire and sass is because she's a born leader. She takes charge and she sees what needs to be done. And I love how the series portrays her as wise beyond her years, and Obi-Wan having to wake up to that.
How old are you?
10.
You don't sound like you're 10.
Thank you.
He still thinks he's the best person to take charge until he has a slip-up that nearly cost them their lives.
You a miner?
Farmer from Tall.
What are you doing out here?
That's a long story.
It's a long way.
He brought me here to see the place where he met my mother. For she...
She's not with us anymore. It's been a very difficult time.
He didn't know what to say, but Leia did.
What about you? You have any information about a Jedi?
I would know one if I saw one.
You haven't heard anything.
Nothing. Are you sure he's even on this planet?
They know what they're doing, Leia.
Oh.
You called her Leia. I thought her name was Luma.
Oh.
That was her mother's name. I get confused.
Oh, man.
Like I said, it's not been easy. Sometimes when I look at Luma, I see her mother's face.
We all miss her very much, and Leia realizes that he's speaking to more to more than he knows, because he says that he doesn't know. He didn't know her mother and didn't know her father, and now she's picking up on. I'm pretty sure you did know my mother and my father. For Obi-Wan, obviously, it's very painful history that he doesn't want to revisit. Padme is dead, and he knows now that Anakin has become a supervillain, and he watched him burn alive. Like, it's all stuff he doesn't want to touch. But here's the thing: Obi-Wan is waking up to, I'm not necessarily the sharpest person in this situation, and I'm underestimating just how intelligent and resourceful this child is. And maybe I have a thing or two to learn. When we're older, sometimes we block ourselves off to that. We assume that wisdom comes with age. I'm reminded of a quote from Skyfall between Bond and Q.
Age is no guarantee of efficiency.
And youth is no guarantee of innovation.
We have these ageist biases. That older people are wise and younger people are naive. Or going the other way, that older people are out of touch and that younger people immediately are just wiser because they're more with it and they're more current and they're more, more tapped into what's going on in the world today. The fact is, you never know until you deal with the person in front of you, what they have to offer. And we always shoot ourselves in the foot when we judge people without knowing them. Speaking of which, Leia is going to benefit from a piece of Obi-Wan wisdom here.
Can't you use Force on it or something?
That's not how it works.
How does it work? The Force. What does it feel like?
Have you ever been afraid of the dark? How does it feel when you turn on the light?
I feel safe.
Yes, it feels like that.
I love that. Have you ever been afraid of the dark? How does it feel when you turn on the light? I feel safe. Yes, it feels like that. They're talking about this mystical power of the Force. But at this point in the story, Leia is open to learning from Ben. Earlier she wasn't, because he was closed off to her. He needed some humble pie, because she was always trying to prove herself to this curmudgeon-y old man who kept telling her, don't speak, don't do anything, don't touch anything, don't look at anything, don't smell anything, don't taste anything. He was trying to control her, and he assumed that she didn't know what she was doing. And so he didn't have her respect. As soon as he clues into her wisdom and her intelligence, and he starts to trust her, she reciprocates because she feels safe and she feels respected. If we're going to open the gates of communication between generations, from parent to child, or from child to grandparent, or from supervisor to employee, or whatever, we need to be willing to learn from each other and not just assume that a position of superiority or age entitles you to call all the shots. I have found, as a parent, as a manager, as a leader, the more I listen to, learn from, and put people to use with their skills and talents and wisdom, the more willing they are to learn from me and accept my feedback. I have to accept it from them. And this leads to a beautiful relationship between them of trust, where Obi Wan finally explores the painful past with her, but in a really beautiful way. Man, the design of the show is so cool. Look at Alderaan there.
So what do you do now?
I don't know.
Their adventures are done.
What do you think I should do?
I think you should sleep.
I think you should sleep.
I think you're right.
Hair's gonna open up.
Leia. When I said before that I didn't know your parents, Princess Leia Organa, you are wise, discerning, kind-hearted. These are qualities that came from your mother.
Padme.
You're also passionate and fearless, forthright. And these are gifts from your father. Both were exceptional people who bore an exceptional daughter. I wish I could tell you more.
It's okay. You don't have to. Thank you.
We open up the ability to connect when we are humble, when we are teachable, and when we do what John and Julie Gottman call accepting influence. Accepting influence is being willing to learn from another person. Whoever you're in the room with, almost always they have something to teach you. And if you want to share with them, you need to be open to that. When we come in with a know-it-all attitude, when we come in with a strong take charge, like there's nothing wrong with strong and take charge, but you need to listen and accept input, even if you're the person who ultimately pulls the trigger and makes the decisions. I love Ben and Leia's friendship in the Obi Wan Kenobi series, and I love how wholesome it is that he tells her about people that he has not talked about in about 10 years because it's too painful. And when he does, it's beautiful and healing for both of them. How do you bridge the gap, right, between seniority or age or generations or difference in experience? How do you bridge that gap? What do you think of my advice here, and what would you add to it? What were your thoughts on the Obi Wan Kenobi series? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, I've got a whole playlist of Star Wars content for you to bask in. If you haven't already, subscribe and click the bell so you never miss one of our videos. Until next time, folks, keep shining because we need your light.